Every single day, millions of dollars move through venture capital deals. Billions of dollars ride on decisions buried in pitch decks. And yet, so many of you, venture partners, investors, leaders, are gripping an uncomfortable truth. That despite all the trends, all the hype, and the endless calls to scale, something deep inside screams that the game as we know it is broken. You feel it. The cracks in the system showing through like a slow leak. That your role, your potential to truly move the needle, is locked behind invisible walls made by general partners. The ones who call the shots, the ones who hold the keys. The reality? Too often, general partners are at the center, sitting on the throne, controlling the capital flow, deciding who gets to build the future. And you? You get the crumbs, margins, second-tier deal flow, delayed visibility. If this doesn't sting, you're not paying attention. That gut punch feeling, that maybe, just maybe, your hands are tied when they should be the ones pulling the strings. But here's the real harsh truth nobody wants to say out loud. General partners aren't always the apex predators of venture returns. They're not the guarantee of winning. Sometimes they know the rules better, but that doesn't mean they play the best game or create the greatest outcomes. Worse, many general partners become the bottleneck of innovation, trapped in outdated hierarchies and slow processes, holding back the very dynamism venture capital claims to champion. You see the landscape, the edge where the real value lies, the founders who don't fit neat spreadsheets, the sectors who refuse to follow traditional exits, the opportunities screaming disruption where the big players hesitate. And you realize the playing field is changing, but the game hasn't caught up. The GPs hold tight to the steering wheel, but the wheel might just be turning in circles. So what is it that you truly crave? Autonomy, real influence, the power to scout, decide, and deploy, without having to leap every hoop designed by gatekeepers who might not even see the future you see. You want to be more than just investor number 3. You want to outperform. You want to break the mold. You want to rewrite the rules for your success, and not just survive, but thrive in a venture ecosystem that's starved for boldness and new structures. Here's the brutal but liberating truth. The power is in the hands of venture partners who dare to transcend the old system. Not just repeat what's safe or what's expected, but claim their space, elevate their edge, and craft deals that don't just replicate historical returns, but change what returns look like. Imagine what it means for you, the investment pro who's burnt out chasing proprietary deal flow that dries up under layers of bureaucracy. Imagine the freedom to spot the rare founders hell-bent on transforming industries, but ignored because they don't fit the classic GP playbook. Imagine having the backbone and strategic prowess to insource exceptional networks, hold real seats at the table, co-invest with freedom, and unlock non-traditional benefits that multiply your impact beyond just dollars. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky fantasy. This is where venture partners steal the lead. By refusing comfort, by building autonomous, selective partnerships that bypass the slow gears of old VC funds, by becoming hunters of radical, unpolished potential, while others circle safe bets. Start thinking about your network differently. Not just contacts to ping for warm intros, but a living, breathing matrix of complementary minds who push, challenge, and elevate your game. Partnerships that don't cling to titles or past glories, but are fiercely built on alignment of vision and hunger to redefine the future. This is your untapped weapon against the mediocrity entrenched in today's venture system. The difference between getting by and outperforming is not just about capital or access. It's about strategic positioning, relentless cultivating of edges where others see risk, and the guts to say no to anything that doesn't serve your transformative agenda. You're fed up with the invisible ceiling. You want to operate without fear of being sidelined, to wield your vote like a weapon, and to multiply influence through sharp, ruthless selectivity. What's standing in the way is not the system alone. It's how much you've let yourself be boxed in by comfort, by conventional wisdom, by the seductive lie that this is the only way. The real power comes when you break free. When you do not wait for permission or for someone to hand you the lead. When you question everything and ruthlessly cut through noise to focus on what moves the needle. When you realize that outperforming general partners is not about mimicking their style or chasing their deals. It's about creating a new mode, a new code. An autonomous network where your unique edge doesn't just survive, it thrives. See, the world has no structure for the exceptional. It's built to process the many, optimize the average, and confine ambition in layers of bureaucracy. But you and a handful of others don't belong in that average. You were made to be the few, graphing your own maps, aligning with those who burn at the same intensity, combining your sparks into a conflagration that disrupts the status quo beyond recognition. This is not a call to simply change your approach. It's a call to fully liberate yourself, to shed the illusions of the system, to build your own infrastructure of influence and power, to lead from the edge, not from the middle. You don't outperform general partners by asking permission. You do it by recognizing that your sovereignty is your greatest weapon, by being critical, dismantling assumptions about what VC is supposed to be, by being patient enough to play the long game while some chase short-term validation. The ecosystem is shifting under the weight of transactionality, complacency, and safe bets. But here's your secret. Where general partners clash over power and control, the smart, disruptive venture partners are quietly building seamless, autonomous collaborations where decision-making is swift, aligned, and ruthless in allocation. These are not just partnerships. They are living networks of mutual fire, where each member fuels and is fueled in return. Think about what happens when you fully embrace this. You become more than a participant. You become a force magnetizing the right deals, the right founders, and the right co-investors. Suddenly, the question is not, will general partners outperform? But how do venture partners become the main architects of the new venture future? It's a seismic shift, one that's happening quietly but irreversibly. Because the truth is, the edge doesn't play safe. The edge is impatient with bureaucracy. The edge moves fast, thinks freely, and invests with a hunger for true transformation. This is the moment where you have to decide. Will you keep settling for a backstage role scripted by others? Will you keep betting on diluted influence and old hierarchies? Or will you step into the real power that comes from owning your network, your decisions, your role as a venture partner who outperforms by nature of a radically autonomous mindset? This isn't about replicating what's been done. It's about redefining the entire game so that your rare, brilliant perspective no longer waits in the shadows, but sits at the center of the deal-making table. When that happens, fund structures shift, deal flow flips, and your returns start reflecting the true value you bring. Not just your check size, but your vision, your courage, your ability to move faster, deeper, and with more precision than any GP stuck in the old system. You'll find the real alpha isn't the size of your fund, but the sharpness of your connections and the fire of your conviction. So get ready, for this is not a slow evolution. It's a revolution of mindset, a rebellion against the easy path and the comfort that kills fire. It's you, emerging not as a follower, but as a pioneer, blazing trails where few dare to go. Every second you hesitate, others are crafting alliances, building autonomous networks, and securing deals that define the next decade. Don't just watch. Get pulled into the movement where power is reshaped by the few, not diluted among the many. You are part of that rare group. This is your call, to unlock what's been trapped inside, to own your role fully, and to push beyond the limits imposed by the old rules. The future doesn't belong to those who wait for permission. It belongs to those who create their own infrastructure of power, who align with fierce, complementary partners, and who play the long game with relentless hunger. This is not about settling. This is about owning your narrative and outplaying the general partners by becoming something the system never anticipated. An unstoppable force of venture partners who don't just participate, but dominate, who refuse compromise, who build alliances so strong they rewrite what venture success even means. Remember this: true freedom is not handed down. It is claimed, fought for, earned through critical eyes and unyielding patience. So get ready, because the world is shifting. The edge is calling. And those who answer will not just outperform, they will redefine everything.